Alright, what we have here today is the Jato 3.3, not the newest version of it, but the original, back 2004, 2005 time frame. I don't remember exactly when I got it. This is the original body. I think it's the original wheels and tires too. I had some off-road tires I ran on it for a long time, but those the wheels didn't really hold up. They broke, they cracked. They were just cheap ones. This is the one that comes with the electric start. It is the original electric start. I have taken off the hoop that goes with it because I had a roll cage on it at one time. This is part of the roll cage. This thing is heavily modified. I've got all the aluminum parts on it. Pretty much I replaced anything that broke with aluminum. The first thing that I really replaced was the chassis. It came with an aluminum chassis, but it bent right here. And I figured if I did it once, I was going to do it again. So I replaced it with the Vantage. I believe that's the brand. That's the sticker on it. Carbon fiber chassis. And this thing is taking an abuse. It's got some scratches. It's got the motor plate that's metal or aluminum. But it holds up pretty well. You can see I've got all the aluminum A-arms. Tires are directional, but they've taken some abuse. I think the glue's starting to wear out on them. I never replaced the shocks. Actually, I did. I put them with some reservoir style shocks, but they never really worked out quite well, so I just stuck the factory ones back on, and they seem to work pretty well. Except for when I tighten them up, they get squirrely. Yes, I do know that putting all these aluminum parts on there makes it heavier, and so it doesn't pull wheelies anymore very easy, but that's okay. I'm fine with it not pulling wheelies. I want it to go and be straight. I did get rid of the wheelie bar in the back. I really don't need it, but that's also where the battery housing was for the steering servo and everything. They designed it to where you could put the battery pack inside, run the wire to charge it over here on that charging area right there, that little charging port, and then it turns off and on right here. So I've got a rechargeable battery in there. This thing's quite dirty. I've replaced the wiring harness once, and I've never replaced the motor. I have had it be seized on me, but that's because when I first got it, I really didn't know how to take care of nitro motors. Always do after run oil and run it out of gas. Don't let gas stay in your tank. Don't let it sit in there. It will seize up. So I've had to take it completely apart and put it back together again. I've messed with it's got the two gear transmission, and I've inadvertently played with the settings on that, so it works pretty well. I like to hear it shift. It's pretty fun. I've still got the original radio in there, so I want that. If I do any more upgrades to this, it'll probably be upgrading to the newest controller and receiver, that 2-channel anyway, that TRAXXAS has. This does have the brake. You just run reverse, and I put the carbon fiber brake on there. So, and I put the tune pipe. Now, what else have I done? It's got the sway bar on it. I don't remember if that's factory or not. I don't like running the antenna sticking up, so I folded it. Somewhere along the line I heard you just run excess fuel tube to keep the excess wire down. So I did have excess fuel tube on it, so that if it flipped over it would keep running. But I found that when I try to run it out or I pinch it off, it takes forever to kill it. And I don't flip it over as much anymore. I'm a better driver, or I'm a more cautious driver. Like I said, this was the original body, and where I live in the southern United States, it gets really hot. So I cut out the windshield and cut out the back to get more airflow. And I think I did some of that as well for the roll cage to fit. The roll cage was really heavy. The one thing that I did notice, and I don't know if you can tell with this right here, let me get this all set. Sometimes there we go. The plastic's starting to curl on me. So when it's all about on, I don't know if you can tell, there's not much flow for the air. So what I did was I drilled out so that the air would flow better and I'd have less restricted air. So that's the Jato 3.3, the original one. It's quick. I don't know, I've never run a speed test on it to see if it ever got up to the 64 plus miles an hour, but I do know it goes really, really, really quick. Probably the only stock thing that I ever replaced was the main chassis support in the middle, and I replaced it with stock, and the turnbuckles because I broke those, but I put those back to stock. So I've looked into the new Jato 3.3s. They got a lot of tech thrown at them. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing except for the updates on this and the receiver and the transmitter, and then it has all the bells and whistles of, you know, the RPM, the speed, the temperature, and all that, which temperature would be great. I don't have a temperature sensor on this, and I probably should put one. I'm going to get a temp gun because I now have my new e-Revo. I'm going to brushless, so I want to be able to maintain and watch the temperatures. I just got it, so I haven't run it in the summer, so I don't know how it's going to do in the summer. Right now it doesn't get above 90, 95, so it stays pretty cool. So, but if you have any questions or comments about it, let me know. It's not really my daily anymore. It's too really loud. So I do love this Jato. I mean, they used to offer the 2.3 or 2.5 version, but now it's only the 3.3. I think TRAXXAS solely does this engine. I'm not much into nitros. I think this is my one and done. Not that I don't like nitros. It's just I don't have anywhere to really run them without people getting annoyed and stuff like that. But like I said, the only other update I would probably do is the electronics, just so that I could have one receiver between all my cars and stuff like that. So I hope you liked my review or my breakdown. Oh yeah, real quick. So this body, you can see it rubs really bad right there. So something I've done on my newer cars is I've put like packing tape or clear tape on there. I've heard people put like duct tape and stuff so that the body doesn't wear through the paint. I don't know. If that's something you want to do, you can. If not, your bodies will just wear out, and then unless you don't care, you like painting and creating your own bodies. So it's a fun little car, little truck, stadium truck as it is. It can take the abuse. Now all the plastic parts, they will break, and that's the reason why I went with the Unedited aluminum parts, and I think that even these are the TRAXXAS rod arms, because these don't break. So, and I knew I was going to keep breaking them. I didn't want to pay for the RPM ones and keep replacing them, and I didn't care about the weight because it was going to keep it down and it'd just go straight. It was still fun to bash. I wasn't getting it for the speed, just the bashing and fun. So, alright, if you liked what you saw, hopefully I'll make more videos. I don't have a regular schedule, but subscribe, stay tuned.